Thank you for coming in here, and I hope you're enjoying STC. Don't mind a little bit of an overlap on the title. We're trying to figure out what happened there. So in this session, we're going to look at what are the various ways of monetization opportunities are available on Samsung Internet. A little bit of a history before we get here. I think today is a very special day. It not only marks 50th anniversary for Samsung as a business, but exactly 50 years ago today was when ARPANET engineers first tested their connecting two computers and established the network, which eventually became Internet. Up until 90s, the Internet was not accessible for most of us, and then the Internet bubble just started booming, and billions and billions of many billion-dollar companies we know today didn't exist before. So Internet brought in a lot of opportunities, and it's still growing. What we would like to talk about today is walk you through some amazing opportunities we have with Samsung Internet. So let's just cut it. So for succeeding any service, these are the 4 things any service would need. A good reach, a platform with a lot of users, discoverability for their services, and engagement, and eventually with more and more engagement, the monetization is going to happen. And we're going to talk a little bit about the scale, what Samsung Internet brings to the table, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it. On the discoverability, we have been doing a few things with Internet and as a Samsung ecosystem, and would like to introduce those to you today. Engagement, some best practices of how you can make user engagement better, and we'll also walk you through some existing opportunities that we have today on Internet. And we are going to also introduce a brand new opportunity, which is extensions. We're really excited about it. You're going to learn all about this today. So start with reach. Samsung Internet is pre-installed and most used browser on Galaxy phones. It's got 7.8 browsing traffic all over the mobile traffic, and in some regions its IS is 20%, and this includes all mobile traffic, iOS, Android, everything. It's the second most popular Android browser, and our users love it. We have a really high rating on the browser app. And not many of you know, Samsung Internet is actually also available for non-Samsung, but many Android devices. So if you have an Android device by somebody else, I hope you don't, but still, if you do, you can try. So let's talk about the user base. We have huge, billion-plus install base. Half of those users are monthly active users, and we have really high daily active users as well. Oh, something went wrong with that. And what's another interesting fact is these huge user base is also really good in developed countries, or what I would say developed mature e-commerce regions like North America and Europe, and that basically says we have a really high user base on these countries, in these regions. All right, so discoverability. Progressive web apps. Progressive web apps is a new term that people have been coining, which basically means bunch of features that were so far only available to the native apps are now being exposed to the web. Like, for example, the offline access, some access to the device sensors like Bluetooth, push notification, payment, and that also helps the discoverability. If you haven't heard about PWA or the PWA APIs, I really encourage you check it out, read about it. It's really cool. So first step, in order to become discoverable on Internet, we really strongly suggest you make your website or your web service a PWA compatible. And once your website is PWA compatible, it installs like a native app on the app screen, like you would install any native app on the phone. And what Samsung Internet does is if it detects your web app or website is PWA compatible, shows a little download icon on the address bar on the top, and that hitting that, or even if user stumbled upon opening this web page from Google search or some way they entered your website, if we detect it's a PWA, we show a pop-up to, hey, do you want to, we detected this as an app, do you want to install this on your phone? And hitting either of those triggers an automatic APK generation. So Samsung Internet creates an APK from your PWA website and installs it like a native app on the phone. Believe it or not, no extra clicks. So either one of those, and then that's it. It's download starts and then installs on the phone, and that's really cool. So industry standard, many companies in India and US and many developing countries have converted their websites into PWA. They have seen various improvements in their engagement 2 to 4 times. And really cool fact is it saves them up to 90% of their cost to acquire new users compared to the native apps. So we didn't stop at Samsung Internet. We wanted to make your PWA app discoverable into more and more places. So we're very excited and happy to announce that now web apps are accessible on Galaxy Store, and users, if they like they would search for an app and they download, they would do the same thing. There is a tab for the web apps. User can go and search and install your web app like a native app. And we also integrated our PWA solution and discoverability in the Finder app. Finder app is what we call, it's just you go to your phone, go to your home, and start searching on your phone. So it's a native search widget that's available on the phones, and users searching for any keyword, it tries to discover and show users PWAs, even when they're not installed. In this case, the Find Pizza that you see there, it's not installed on the phone, but it's helping user. These are the PWA apps, and they have more Galaxy Store apps and Play Store apps and these kind of things. So we integrated into natively on the device outside Samsung Internet to help the discovery. So it's very easy to get on this. If you have a website and you have PWA, you want to be one of these, both these places, we will have a more developer-friendly website very soon, and where you can find and sign up and make your web app available on the Samsung device. Until then, we highly encourage you, please reach us out on this email, and we'll connect you with the right folks, and we will get your web app available on the Galaxy phones. All right, a little bit about payments. So why are we talking about payments? So the third pillar in our service cycle was engagement. So one of the reason I think our engagement is very important is to have a very easy checkout process, and that's the core of the business. M-commerce by 2020, just in US, is going to be $338 billion market. And very interesting factor of that is 66% of these purchases happening on m-commerce, they happen on the web, not the native apps. And already since last 2017, actually, mobile traffic on the web has surpassed desktop traffic. So the internet traffic is actually already more on mobile than desktop browsers today. Unfortunately, however, the conversion, even though 66% of purchases happens on the web, and web traffic is already more on mobile than desktop, the conversion is almost 2/3 lower. It's almost 66% lower than the desktop. Why is that? If you think about it, we think it's basically looking at all the data available online for e-commerce. We think, and it's highlighted, that it's the checkout experience on mobile is painful. It's just not user-friendly, too many steps, and user gives up. Okay, I'll go back to my laptop when I get next chance, and then I'll order, right? So in the web, we recently addressed this by making a cross-platform JavaScript API called Payment Request API. So Samsung closely worked with Google and W3C and many, many groups to make this happen. So it provides a very seamless, secure, one-step checkout experience. So imagine you're on an e-commerce site, you click on checkout, and all user sees is one sheet of page where user gets to enter their shipping address, payment, contact information, and done. It's very seamless, very easy, and it's cross-platform, so it works on all of these browsers. So let's quickly look at how it works, and I'll let you go back and do more research and figure out how to use it on your web service. First, it's very simple. You define a payment method. Payment method could be your basic credit cards that you already accept on your service. It could be a native payment apps on your phone. Then you define the cart, what user is trying to buy, and some details about it. Step 3, you create a payment request API and the call show. When you call show is when you see the user UI showing up, and when user completes the input, that they have to do one time if they're brand new user, browser doesn't have all this data. But once they do that, the payment is processed and the payment response is given back to the user. Optionally, you can also call can make payment, and this allows if certain e-commerce merchants are really worried about what if browser doesn't have these cards? What if the payment method, that payment app that I'm going to use doesn't have user setup? I don't want user to go through all the setup process. You can call this step, and if this call can make payment returns true, that means browser has the card, the details, or the payment app has the card, everything gonna go smoothly, and you can call the show after that. And of course, we also introduced last STC that we support Samsung Pay with the same API. So if you have interest in making users pay with Samsung Pay, which I highly recommend because this makes the experience really seamless, and also it's highly secure. And this is the link you can go to. You'll find more details on what the information you need to pass. It's really simple and easy. All right, so let's quickly look at what some existing opportunities we have on internet already. And this depends on the type of business and type of services you provide. For example, if you happen to have a search engine, we have a way to integrate search engines in the browser and make it very easy to switch the search engines. And these are pre-configured. And like you see, very easy and intuitive for users to figure out and change. And we also have a secret mode, which is our equivalent of, let's say, incognito mode, where user can have a separate search engine if they would like to. Then we have something called as quick access. These are like a speed dial that you would see in the old browsers. So these are basically the two ways user would be exposed to these shortcuts. One when they launch Samsung Internet, the Samsung Internet homepage on the left is what you see. They will be exposed to these brands, and every time they click on the address bar on the second screen that you see, we show a pop-up. So it doesn't look like a pop-up, but it's a pop-up that shows the brands and exposes the brands. These are 15 fixed pre-configured brands. And again, like I said, it shows up when user clicks on the quick access pop-up every time user clicks on the address bar. So you can expose your brand on this homepage as well. And these are configurable per region, per country. And yeah, I think it's an easy, low-hanging, great opportunity for everybody out there. We also have some built-in add-ons today. Built-in add-ons are more integrated tightly with the browser. And you can get to this menu by clicking on the main menu of Samsung Internet. There is an add-ons, and then you click on that, and gets there. We have a couple of type of extensions already here, Amazon Assistant and Quick Suggest. Both of these extensions are helping users in shopping. With respect, you can see here, Quick Suggest has cashback and some price comparison and video reviews and things like that, provides contextually. And we also have ad blockers or content blockers. These ad blockers are built via our content blocker API, and we had this from last couple of years. What we realized after this is users loved using our extensions, but these were not easy to develop. This needed a tight collaboration with browser team and a business involvement. So today we are very excited to tell you more about what we're doing to solve that. Just a little one point I wanted to add before we hand it over to Hen here. So I think you guys have probably familiar that desktop browsers had extensions from very, very long time. And they're huge and they're really popular. It's a huge business opportunity, and billion-dollar companies have emerged from this opportunity. So they are very nice and they're contextual, they're powerful, they provide useful features for the user, so they love to use. That's why they love to use it. However, this opportunity always lacked on the mobile platform, and mobile browsers always lack this opportunity, and in that order, your services lack this opportunity. So today, we are really excited to tell you a lot more about this, and I think we're going to change this forever. And with that, let me hand it over to Han, and he'll tell you more about this. Thank
you. Good afternoon. I'm SeungHwan, a software engineer in Samsung Electronics working on Samsung Internet. I'm really happy to introduce the new feature of Samsung Internet named as Samsung Internet Extensions. I will tell you about the extensions, which is very popular in desktop browsers first, then tell you about the extensions with Samsung Internet. I hope you could find more new and more opportunities for your business development from this presentation today. If you are familiar with the extensions, yours and probably your family's browsers will look like this. There's many extensions installed together. The major desktop browsers such as Chrome, Firefox, Opera, and Safari provide their own extensions with different names, such as add-ons or plugins. Why do we use the extensions in desktop browsers? Of course, they are so powerful, but besides that, we can think about the functionality. The extensions extend the functionality of the browser by providing additional features or customized services that the browsers cannot provide by default. Also, those extensions are simple. They can just be installed through a couple of clicks and be used right away. They are just a bundle of simple code snippets, which means that they are easy to use. Lastly, the continuity. The users can use the features of installed extensions without leaving the tabs or closing the browsers. Sorry for malfunction. Okay. Let's see the types of extensions roughly. The types can be categorized in various ways, but from our study, we found 4 of them. The first, iterative extensions, which bring the custom functionality of cloud service to you. Dropbox or Evernote Web Clipper might be the example of this type. Through the Evernote Web Clipper, you can clip some articles or web pages you watch iteratively by clicking the icon of it. There's another type, additional features, that providing background services in any tabs of the browser. Any kind of notes, calendars, and translators. For instance, the Make Translate, like the one you can see in this screenshot, might be the example of this type. Also, there's a microservices. Microservices, they are executed by clicking the icon of them and interacting with the web pages. For instance, if you click the icon of the Grammarly extension, it reads the text in the web page and corrects the misspells if found. Lastly, the tools, extensions as on tools, especially for the developers. The extensions as developing tools can be found in web stores, and they can be used without closing tabs or browsers. This is a very convenient option for the developers. But the situations are changing. Recently, mobile web traffic has surpassed desktop traffic, which means the people are browsing in mobile more than desktop. But because due to the lack of extension support in mobile browsers, users cannot get benefits from those extensions at all. As you saw earlier from Mahesh's presentation, the Samsung Internet is a wonderful mobile browser and very popular with huge numbers of daily users. But unfortunately, the Samsung Internet doesn't support the extensions either and has only a small number of built-in add-ons. So we decided to make the Samsung Internet support the extensions so that the extensions can integrate their functionality to the Samsung Internet and extend the functionality of the Samsung Internet as well. Now it's time to tell you about the Samsung Internet Extensions API. Together we are hoping together with the Samsung Internet Extensions developers, we will create the future of the mobile extensions. Let's see how it works first, how to discover and install the extensions. The Samsung Internet Extensions will be serviced from version 11. In this version, the menu Get More Add-ons will be shown in the Add-ons menu page. And once you tap this menu, the Galaxy Store, which is the big app market of Samsung and highly optimized for the mobile environments, will be launched. And the extensions for the Samsung Internet will be listed up in the Samsung Internet Extensions category. And here, for example, if you take the Mate Translate, you can read the details of it and install it. And once it was installed, when you come back to add-ons Mate page, you can see the installed Mate in there. And how to use the extensions? The installed extensions can show the action icon of it if it was defined in Tools menu. When you tap the icon of it, the main feature that the extension wants to provide will be launched, or you can launch some additional features through another way, such as context menu like this. So in this screenshot, you can see the translation feature of selected text, which was triggered by context menu. With these mobile extensions, we are dreaming about the future with rich and various mobile extensions for the Samsung Internet. We would like to create the world of mobile extensions with a number of extension developers in this room and out there. To achieve this goal, we built the first version of extension APIs recently by supporting the basic web extensions APIs and having closed beta test right now. And we will soon have open beta test as well. After this first version, we are planning to release the second version by expanding the compatibility. And in the third version, we are planning to release the extension APIs with unique and mobile-oriented extensions to let the developers can make true mobile extensions for Samsung Internet. Sorry. Here's what you have to do to make the extensions for the Samsung Internet. It's very simple. Take the extension files if you have already one for the desktop browsers and customize them for the mobile environment by following the guidelines which we will provide. And then create a package in the format of hours. Also, we will provide a tool for this. Then distribute it through the Galaxy Store. That's it. It's very simple. The package we will use in Samsung Internet Extensions will follow the Android APK style packaging. For this, as I said earlier, we will provide a simple tool for you. It will be very easy to use it, no matter if you have any experiences of Android packaging before. And the created package will be uploaded to the Galaxy Store, just like as the other Android app developers are doing. So you can refer to the manual of Galaxy Store, or you can ask us to guide you. Once your extension was passed through the QA process of ours, then the users will be able to search and find your extension in the Galaxy Store and install them whenever they want. We've been working with a few early adopters to develop the extension support. We have 4 partners of them working together for the last 6 months to develop the mobile-friendly extensions. From the beginning of this project, they provide a lot of helps to make the extension APIs work and design the packaging and distribution models as well. Thanks to their helps, we could have true mobile extensions with better UX and usability for the Samsung Internet. Here's the example. Here are the example of what our partners have done to create the mobile-friendly extensions. This is the screenshot of Mate Translate, which is one of our partners. The first one is the screen of a main feature to translate the inputted text. And the second one is a settings page, which was composed by themselves. As you could see in here, the layout of extensions developed for the desktop browsers can show some ugly layouts in mobile browsers because the UX and layout conditions in the mobile browsers are quite different from desktop browsers. So they had to change their screen to fit the mobile screen, like as you could see in this screenshot. Also, this is another example from another partner, WOT, Web of Trust. As you can see, the page doesn't fit the mobile screen, and they had changed the screen to fit the mobile screen to provide better UX. As well as the UX, the partners have to change their features to provide better usability in Samsung Internet. One of our partners, WT, as you saw earlier, had to change the way of providing menus to let users use them without moving the pages to find what they want. Of course, the usability is still fine if you have to move the pages to find the menu you want, but if it is possible to use them without moving the pages, the usability will be far much better. See? So this is all I have right now. You can directly contact us through this email if you are interested with the Samsung Internet extensions, and any comments or any questions will be welcome. We are hoping to get opportunities to work with you to develop some true mobile extensions together. Thank you for listening, and Mahesh will take over again to wrap up this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Han. So, just in summary, what we learned today. The reach, again, Samsung Internet, second largest Android browser, 1 billion plus install base, and 500 million monthly active users. Different ways your services can be discovered with Samsung Internet as make your web app PWA compatible and integrate with web payments and sign up for Galaxy Store and Finder. And that's all you need to do, and millions of users will be able to discover your service. Just a recap on our existing opportunities. We have search engine integration. We have quick access shortcuts, which are the speed dial talked about, and integrating contents and services. If you're a content partner, we also have some opportunities there. Please reach out. And at the last but not least, really excited about the extension APIs. I think this opens up really an untapped market for mobile, and it's very easy to take your existing, if you already have a PC extension, to mobile. Just make your mobile UI look for mobile, and reach out to us, and we will help you distribute through Galaxy Store. And the same cool features that you can see on desktop will work on Samsung Internet, and really excited about this. Again, thank you very much for coming in today, and with that, I'll open up if there are any questions. Yeah.
Let me try this one. Hi. My question is about the main page of the browser. I noticed below those icons, there is a newsfeed.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, how many people does actually use that on a daily basis, maybe? And do you monetize it? And how does it work?
So the news feed below the icon you see are, again, regionally, we have different news providers based on whoever's good there. And yeah, it's the latest category-based news content happening around the area that gets displayed there. And usage, we recently launched. In US, it's less than, I think, less than a year. In other places, it's still rolling out. So we will learn more ourselves about the usage more, but that's basically how it works. It's regionally partnered on the content partners as well. And if you are one of the service which provides content, we'll be happy to talk to you about and find ways to integrate.
Thank you.
Right? Anybody else? Okay, great. Thank you so much for coming in here today, and I hope you are as excited as we are on this extension. And thank you again.